Hey guys, I'm Leanna. I am the editor-in-chief of Prima Games, and today we're talking about Outriders. By now you've probably already seen on our Facebook page and our Twitter and our YouTube, we got to play a couple hours of the new shooter hybrid from People Can Fly, and I was actually really excited because I went in, usually when I go in to do previews, I kind of already know what I'm getting into. This one, I went in completely blind, which was awesome. And they're the same people that did Bulletstorm, which is a game that I always hold so true and so dear. So yeah, I was excited. But before we go to the tape, let's roll a couple of minutes of footage. You can also see more. We have 20 minutes of gameplay. We have us trying and failing miserably at taking on a boss fight. So if you want to check out some cut footage, let's get some gameplay action going before we dive right in with our impressions. Roll the clip!
Okay, boss. Do you see a big tower? That's where you need to get. The old solar tower. But it's a mess out there. Everything's upside down.
Yeah, I noticed. Don't worry, I'm carving my way through it. I'm getting major deja vu in this place. This whole hellscape reminds me of that mission in Damascus when we rescued those diplomats.
Right. The one where I had to save your ass from that machete-wielding mob.
Ha! More like that time I had to save your sorry ass from that redneck mob storming DC.
You know what I liked about those missions? Felt like we were fighting for a reason. But this shithole, in 30 years, it's never been worth fighting for.
What's it all about for you then?
Just trying to live another day.
Okay, so now that you guys kind of have an idea of what this game is on a very base level, there's so much more that meets the eye. Now, this game is coming out on this gen and next generation, so this is actually my first title I've gotten to play that is technically a next gen title, which is kind of freaking cool. But one thing that was really interesting to me is even though they told us that there was going to be RPG elements in this game, I wasn't really expecting the amount of RPG elements that were actually there. So when we go in, there's a big prologue cutscene where you land on the planet Enoch, which is supposed to be this like haven for humanity, you know, after years and years and years of fighting, and you get this backdrop of just a war that's ongoing. So this is supposed to be like the haven. This is the reward for fighting and surviving. Of course, they get there, and you get to meet everybody. You know, you've got a camp, you get to meet the different characters. Some are hilarious, some are awkward, and even some selfie action, which, you know, we've all been there. I get it, no judgment. And then, of course, it all goes to hell. And they end up getting confronted with this, like, anomaly that ends up, like, evaporating people before their eyes. So but instead of fighting it because they don't know how to fight it, they don't even know what it is, they end up going into cryogenesis once more, and then we fast forward 30 years later. And that's when the game starts. Now this was crazy, but just in this short amount of time that we talked to people in the camp, you got to know them. You started to care about them, which is pretty cool. Like for me, obviously, I'm a huge fan of BioWare. I've got Mass Effect, Dragon Age tattoos, and Star Wars, and everything, because I love Knights of the Old Republic. But they had, you know, those take a long time to build those relationships, that familiarity, but it's something that I treasure a lot in gaming experiences. So to kind of see the tip of the iceberg there was pretty freaking sweet, and I was definitely wanting to learn more, but we also were there to play the game, so it was like time to dive into combat. One thing that was really cool that I really liked about this is People Can Fly showed us a bunch of concept art of weaponized. Weaponized? Weaponized. Weapons. Moving on. That were almost Destiny-like, like Rat King, and there's so many weapons in Destiny that just look really cool. They're very aesthetically pleasing. And then they've got that buffs that you really want, which makes you want them not just because they look cool, but because they're really functional as well. Outriders does the exact same thing. They were meant to be very dark. One word they kept throwing around was macabre, which was pretty interesting, and a couple of them, which I can't show you because they didn't give us images and I didn't find any in my time with the game, but they were just very intricate. And then each one also had buffs as well, and you can actually get those weapons by doing side quests. So there's the main campaign, and then there's a bunch of side quests you can do. So where we went wrong is we went straight for the boss, which, you know, as a huge RPG fan, I should have known better. I didn't. I got a little bit excited, and we got creamed. We got totally creamed. So then we went back and tried to find some better weapons, and the best way to do that was through the side quests. We did a couple of ones that were revenge. There was a lot of aspects of the society that felt very Mad Max. Like, everybody is just batshit crazy. Like, everybody is just going nuts. Everybody's killing each other. They're like killing each other for sport. And that's actually how our characters introduced to this new time, is the fact that they're like basically being drugged in their underwear to no man's land, which is, you know, where they expect you to die. You're going to be going up against them. You're going to be going up against the various creatures that the anomaly also affected. And it was just very interesting to kind of see it all come together. So there was definitely a lot of Division 2, Mad Max, a couple Mass Effect, you know, feely type mechanics here and there. Definitely saw some Borderlands 2, because it's a looter shooter. You know, you think looter shooters, a lot of people, their first go-to thought is Borderlands. But it felt very familiar to a bunch of different game franchises while still maintaining its very own feel, which was really interesting. And I really, honestly, I liked my time with the game. I chose one of the 4 classes, which we only saw 3. They wouldn't reveal the 4th class yet, which I really want to know. I'm a curious type and I'm really nosy. But I chose the Pyromancer just because fire, pretty, and it was awesome. Being able to, you know, pair weapon attacks with my special ability flawlessly, interchangeably, it was beautiful. It was very fluid, very organic feeling. And then scaling up those trees with the, you know, getting the skill points, which people, if you're familiar with RPGs, you know what I'm talking about. But you can allocate them to different specific abilities and tailor your newfound, anomaly given powers to something that fits your playstyle, which I thought was really cool. And if you ever play with me on PC when it comes out this holiday season, I apologize in advance. My teammates, bless them, especially Ozzy from Shack News, he really was patient with me because I am a very impatient player. I like to go in. It's usually why I either go rogues or tank type classes, because I just love going into the thick of it, not really strategizing. I just kind of go and hope for the best. And I definitely did that with a bunch of fights, and it worked out well. Like, if you look at our boss, footage, I died the least, and I was reviving all their butts. So, like, you're welcome. But it was really cool. I really liked it. When we were playing, they were very careful to tell us. They were like, you're going to look at this, you're going to play this gameplay, you're going to find glitches. It's still very technically early on in development, even though it's launching this year, which is something that a lot of developers have talked about in the past. Most recently, Corey Barlog from God of War, he even said, he was like, games are ugly until they're just not. So I didn't really judge a whole lot off of what I saw versus the combat, because the cutscenes were beyond stunning. They were movie quality. And you could tell by the way they were talking, they are definitely polishing it up. And they were asking, like, vividly asking us our feedback. I brought up epilepsy concerns because I'm epileptic. And it was just really cool to be able to have that conversation with the developers and knowing they're being very receptive and that a lot of changes are still going into this. So I urge you, if your first knee-jerk reaction was, oh my god, this game is supposed to be next-gen, this is what it looks like, be a little bit patient, because they did say numerous times and that was not the final production quality of actual gameplay mechanics and gameplay look and feel and aesthetic. So I'm excited. I know we're going to be getting a more in-depth look later this year. They're going to be finally revealing the 4th class, which I'm really excited to learn more about. But yeah, this is a game. It's for those wanting to play with friends, you can play with up to 3 players. I'm hoping, though, with 4 classes that they open it up to 4, because I have this crew of 4 that I always roll with. So that would be really cool. But it's going to be a co-op game. You can play by yourself. And another thing that I really liked is everything scales. So if you level up, your whole world levels up too. So like the boss that we got creamed with, we went back to level up, but our bad, he also leveled up. But for those that don't like that do want to kind of maintain the pace that they feel more comfortable with, you can absolutely do that. There's no difficulty settings. Settings? What? Anyways, there's no difficulty settings, like a normal person of saying settings. There's no difficulty settings, but you can actually set your world space. So if you want to be level 5, you liked how level 5 felt to you, and you liked how the enemies at level 5 felt, you can actually keep that at that specific setting. So it lets you tailor your gameplay a little bit more with the sole purpose of being enjoyable for you. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. If you're not having fun, why bother? You know what I mean? But it was hard. The bosses were hard. It's not run and gunning like I'm used to. You have to do a lot of strategy, especially for the first boss, which I will link that comment below. But it was crazy. It was very well put together. It was very well designed. And I loved being able to customize my character, making my Outrider with like the silver, obviously with the silver bluish type hair. And I gave her like a silver bluish type mohawk and badass scars. And she just looked really cool. And I don't know, it was nice to be able to kind of make my character and be able to fully immerse myself into this world that I was being introduced to for the first time. So yeah, I really, really liked it. If you guys are interested in even more of our thoughts, you can check out primagames.com. We've got a ton of coverage over there about Outriders, including interviews with the devs on if there's going to be romance. If it's so RPG-like, will there be a little woohoo action going on? I don't know, you'll have to see it. primagames.com/game/Outriders. Got everything you need to know. Finger guns, don't know why I'm doing that. That's really awkward. We're going to go ahead and move on from that. Professional. So anyways, yeah, it's really cool. We don't have a release date at this time, but we do know that it's coming out on this gen, so PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, as well as next gen with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. So I'm really, really excited for you guys to hear more. So if you guys want, go ahead and check out primagames.com for more info on Outriders, and also drop a comment in the comment section below and tell us what you think, or if I'm just being my typical fangirl self, because that's totally fair and valid. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time.